Welcome to 151 of the
Eldritch
Podblast.
Podblast. You're out of practice. You didn't say the episode. You said, welcome to 151.
Episode 151 of the
Eldritch
Eldritch Podblast.
Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And wow, it feels like it has been a very long time since we last recorded.
It really, really does.
Like, it's only been
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Feels like it's been longer than that. That was 1 minute and 10 seconds into recording. Dog
already.
Dog demon.
But you can tell. I can tell you're out of practice.
Yeah.
Because you click. Because obviously Margaret has last say on how the camera looks. Like I just like set it all up, and then Margaret has like last say on camera, and then because of that she clicks record and clicks the timer, and she comes in. You just clicked record and walked in.
I just came and sat down.
We had no audio. We had no timer.
Like, how is it that I don't do something for 2 weeks and I forget entirely how to do something?
2 weeks is a long time.
Yeah.
2 weeks in the 2 weeks in the grand scheme of things is a long, long time.
You think in the grand scheme of life?
It feels like it's been. God, feels like it's been forever.
It feels like it has been
we
forever.
sat here
I
and
completely
recorded.
agree. It feels like it's been a really long time.
You know, for you it's only been a week, but for us it's been 2
weeks. Is that right?
Has to be. Because we had a week off. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't film last week, but we did film the week before. Yeah, so it's been 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks.
But how has it been 2 weeks?
Because there was.
Because we film it in advance.
Oh
God, time.
But yeah, you had a week off from us.
Yeah. Oh my
How was
goodness.
that?
Hey.
Tell me all about your heartache.
Yep. Indeed.
Tell me all about how distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Tell me all about like how on a Monday and a Thursday you actually just sat on the settee.
Yeah.
And just looked at a blank screen because we didn't upload anything.
To all of our friends who aren't from UK, settee means couch.
Yes, we found out the other day that you don't know what settee
Don't know
means.
what a settee is. Yeah, it's a couch. It's a
couch.
A sofa, an armchair.
Did you sit on the couch?
The couch.
And just look at a blank screen because there was no Eldritch Podblast?
Yeah.
I imagine that's what you did, right?
Yeah. How was your vacation? I hope you've had a wonderful week. It really feels like so long since we've done this.
But we are very glad to be back.
Yes, indeed.
Very glad to be back.
And
it
you know
feels
what?
good.
Thank you so much for always allowing us to have the time off.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we were very scared to take some time off because we didn't know if you would be okay with it. Obviously, we were very worried about the algorithm. We're kind of in a position because of you where we don't really have to worry about that as much.
Yeah.
Obviously, as YouTubers, you have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But we are in a very privileged position because of you.
You have to worry about it, but you can't understand it.
Yeah.
You aren't allowed to understand even
a
microcosm of what it means.
Yeah.
But you have to worry
But you
about
have
it.
to worry about it. Yes, indeed.
Right.
So thank you. Thank you for allowing us to take the time off. We really needed it. We feel much better for it.
Yeah.
Every now and then, it's good to take a break. And that goes for you as well, by the way. Take a break. Take some time for yourself.
Cash in your holidays and just take a little bit of time off.
I realize, again, we're in a privileged position. I know some people literally cannot afford to take a break, and I'm sorry that is the world we live in. But if you can, please remember to take a break for yourself and treat yourself with some care. Give yourself some TLC because we all need it. We certainly did. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you so much. And it's great to be back. We had we didn't do much chilling.
Oh, we left the house though.
We did. We left the house last weekend and went for some food with some friends.
we met up with majority online friends.
Yeah.
And
one person that
IRL
friend. Yeah, one person that we knew IRL.
Yeah.
Who we began to sort of just play games with online, and then because of that, we met their online friends.
His friendship group.
And they were great. And it was just a good time. It was a great fun time.
It was really, really
lovely
really
people,
nice.
And we had a good time. And yeah, it was
great. It was good, clean fun. Meeting your online friends is so funny.
Yeah,
like it's so. Honestly, they kept talking, and I was like, it is so wild to hear your voice,
but see you talking.
It was really strange. So fun.
Yeah, good times. Good times.
Indeed, it was really, really, really good fun. Apart from that,
Marcus played Valorant again.
Hey, I'm wearing my Phoenix t-shirt again.
Yeah.
I'm not. Hey, I'm not playing Phoenix. I'm
Sage.
I'm trying
Sage
right out.
Low impact agent. Just sort of like concentrate on the
staying alive.
shooty.
Yeah, the staying alive
Concentrate on the
game.
shooty, less about the abilities and stuff like that. Because I think a lot of people, when they're new to Valorant, struggle with the concept of like Pot with utility in their hands.
And you know,
Man,
I'm
my
not
way
new
is
to
a
Valorant anymore. I have no excuse. But
I'm just gonna put my way like that. I don't even care.
I haven't played Valorant in like 3 or 4 months. And you know how at the beginning of this episode I was like, wow, it's wild that I can go 2 weeks and completely forget how to do something. Imagine going like 3 months in a game that is really mechanical. I have no idea what I'm doing.
You see, you don't know what you're doing. I thought you did a great job. Dog was licking.
Dog was licking. Thank you.
I thought you did a great job. I thought you came back. I think the thing is with Margaret, I think because like the aiming is something that you can practice at, and like you get good at things like when you like routinely do them.
Yeah.
Like your aiming and stuff like that has never been the problem.
No.
It's been more like the map awareness.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I can't read a map.
Yeah.
That goes for every situation in my life. Can't read a map. Don't know my left from right. I can pretty much work out up from down.
But she did get an ace.
I did get an ace, which means I killed all the team by myself.
Yeah, you basically 5v1 the
I did
other
5v1 the other team, and I did kill them all.
You did kill all of them.
And that did feel good. That was my second ever ace.
The first ace was still an ace, but you used like your grenade.
Yeah, and I just killed multiple with my
got
grenade.
3 kills with it. You basically chuck it into a choke point, and then
yeah.
But this time
I just snuck around and I just popped them all, didn't I?
Got them all. You did a great job.
Yeah.
First game back as well.
Yeah, no, it felt good.
She's a gamer.
My problem is, and I'm sure a lot of you can probably relate to this, is things like PvE, World of Warcraft, doing dungeons. I can learn patterns. I can learn this specific creature does this, and I know I can counteract that by doing this because I understand everything that my class is capable of. You follow the same route every time, pretty much, and if you do, you can kind of adapt because you know what each creature does.
Yeah.
Each boss, the mechanics. It's something that I can learn and recognize the patterns in, and it's the same every time. Something like PvP, which Valorant is, it's an FPS shooter if you didn't know, where it's human unpredictability. I really struggle with.
It adds a level of unpredictability because you're just playing against other people who and every single person like thinks differently.
Yeah.
And
so hey, I don't want to know what that means about me.
But you did really well.
Yeah,
you came
thank
back
you.
And you did really well.
Yeah,
and we had some good games.
Yeah,
we played last night. It was great.
We haven't really been doing much, to be honest. Oh my gosh. We had Wabs and Courtney in our game.
Yeah, we had Wabs and Courtney.
We had Wabs and Courtney in our D&D game. Oh my
D&D
goodness,
game. That was really good.
Yeah,
they came in for two sessions.
Yeah,
and, we did some big fights.
They witnessed some very bad things.
Yeah.
Some could argue one of the worst things to happen in a D&D game without giving any spoilers.
Yeah.
And they came in at a really important point. They really helped. Having the 2 extra people on our side for what we faced against was really good. I don't want to give too many spoilers.
No.
Because if you didn't know, oh my gosh, we have a Patreon.
Oh my goodness gracious me, we have a Patreon.
We have a
link
Patreon
down in the description.
And our middle tier, our Moon Druid tier, which is £4.50 a month, you get access to our monthly campaign update. And we had the first stream.
We did
last Tuesday at the time you see this.
Yes, this is Monday. Tuesday last week.
And oh my gosh,
it was brilliant, and we enjoyed it very
so
much.
Good.
And I feel like the Patrons enjoyed it very much.
Indeed.
We got through sessions 1 to 7.
So less than we had hoped.
Yeah, less than we had thought.
But because, we published 1 to 4, we wanted to do like a really quick recap of 1 to 4.
Spoiler, it wasn't very quick.
Wasn't quick at all. So we got through substantially less than we thought we were going to get through.
We planned... We
got up to session 13.
Yeah, we recapped.
Yes.
Like, we made our notes up to session 13.
Yes, we had notes up to then. And we're up to session 24 now.
In the actual game.
So we have a lot to get through. But it was so much fun. Thank you once again so much to all of our Patreons for patrons. Oh my goodness.
Patrons.
For allowing us to share this with you in a way that felt really natural, and you were able to ask any questions you wanted. It was really free flowing.
You did some theorizing, which was nice to see.
And it was really nice knowing that everyone who was there wanted to be there.
Yeah.
I think one of the things we were conscious about with our campaign updates when we did them in the video, people who didn't want to see them could skip them, and when we did them on the live stream, you couldn't. Really, you would just kind of have to leave and hope you came back.
People maybe like tuned out and then tuned in when they're ready. So
exactly.
it was very nice to just have loads of people there who just wanted to hear it.
Totally,
because
absolutely.
They were invested, we were invested.
Yeah.
And, it's like a campaign. It's like when you want to the campaign's best when everyone's like there for it and
I
excited.
agree.
For it.
I totally
And
agree.
it was the same with that because people were asking loads of questions and. The VOD has loads of views, and it was just really lovely to see.
It was wonderful. So thank you so much to our patrons. If you're interested in checking out our Patreon, the link is in the description. The tiers range from £2 to £8.50. You get all sorts of benefits, including the D&D campaign in tier 2. What else?
No, really?
Yeah.
No.
We had Wabs and Courtney, which was so much fun, by the way.
It was great.
Like, having friends come in as a guest spot was so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like... It's just a different dynamic.
Like, because we had my brother in, which was really good, and I think that gave us the confidence to ask other people.
Yeah, totally.
And Wabs is obviously a DM for his own game, and he's telling us that we're going to get guest spots in their game soon.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's going to be really cool.
A lot of D&D collaboration, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's loads of fun.
A lot.
Great to just see how other people play.
It really is. Honestly, it is.
Great.
Yeah, there was some big brain moves made from the two.
Yeah, there was
really
some good moves.
And you know what? Their characters were great as well. Both of their characters were so much... Courtney's voice for her character. I won't spoil anything. I'll leave it for Patreon for when we get to it. But it was really, really good fun.
Yeah, it was great.
So, hey, if you're worried about doing that guest spot, do it. Invite your friends in. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
There probably is loads of things.
We'll figure it out as we go on.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now.
Nah.
Well, before we get into the episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the video.
Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Check out
professional YouTubers.
Patreon link will be in the description. Twitch will be in the description. Come and join us Fridays, Sundays, and every other Tuesday.
Yes.
For live streaming there.
Yes, indeed.
Check out some merch.
Oh, actually, yes. Before we do get into it, actually, there was a couple of comments about the homebrew challenge. That we are taking a break from the homebrew challenge right now. Just so everyone knows, it is changing. There is going to be some big changes again to the homebrew challenge. We haven't ironed out everything
just
yet. But it's nearly there. Thank you so much to our mods who have helped so much throughout the whole... the homebrew challenge was Sherry's idea.
Yeah.
Sherry specifically has really supported us through the homebrew challenge. All of our mods have and suggested really great ideas. So it's not going away. It is definitely coming back. Don't worry. I know some people were worried about it. It is coming back. We're taking a break right now. There are going to be changes. And when we know exactly what the outline is, we will, of course,
let you know.
tell you. Yes. And without any further ado, shall we get into the topic?
I'm ready.
Yeah. And before we get into today's topic,
thank you so much to all our patrons over at Patreon.
You have no idea how much we appreciate your support.
If you want to support us over at Patreon and gain access to our exclusive content,
like our D&D campaign updates and our extra monthly live streams,
click the link in the description. More about Patreon at the end of this video. Thank you.
Let me write this down.
Give it to me.
As you can see from the title, we are doing horrible house rules.
Horrible house rules that make you go, ooh.
And as always, I do want to say, all of our opinions are completely our own. If a rule works for your table and your game, then that is your prerogative, and that is totally fine. Don't listen to anything that we say. This is all just for a bit of fun. And
we do say that every single time we do any of these things. I would like to give a shout out to the one person who, the one time that we didn't say, because look, we say it at the beginning of the episode, so we don't have to say it on every single house rule.
Yeah. But
then as soon as we mentioned a house rule and then didn't say it, they were like, yeah, but they didn't say it on this one. It's just like, look, my friend, go somewhere else if you don't like it.
You're just intentionally...
You're just intentionally
twisting that into something that it's really not.
if you want to use house rules, go for it.
Totally. Oh my gosh. If
you want to take the one time that we didn't say it as that meaning that we don't mean it for that one, that's on you.
Yeah, that is on you.
I feel
100%.
like you need to, maybe go and touch some grass or something.
Yeah, totally. So this first one, these are all from the Reddit, by the way, and I do want to say that this person's username is oingo-boingo-brother.
Oingo-boingo-brother. My brother. Oingo-boingo-brother.
And the title of this is DM Death Rule. So my DM has a rule that after 2 character deaths, you are kicked out of the campaign. I want you guys. I want to know. Do you guys think this is a good or a bad rule?
Bad. Instantaneously bad.
Hey, get out of here.
Like, why can't I just make a new character?
No, 2 deaths and you're gone. Obviously.
So is it
2
like,
strikes and you're out.
Is it like, so it's like, so I die, then I bring in another character and I die again and then I'm out, or is it I die, I get revivified, I die again, I'm out? Why is it only 2 characters?
I have no idea. You know what? I have absolutely no idea. I'm assuming it just means any form of character death.
Imagine in that second fight, like your character's died, you're in the next fight, it's a tough fight, and the DM's like literally about to kill the character, and it's just like, sorry, mate. Guess I'll see you next campaign.
This reminds me. Do you remember that story we read ages ago where the person played D&D for the first time and their character died, and they were like, well, it was a good run.
Yeah.
Please keep going. I'm gonna miss you guys. And the DM was like,
what do you mean?
See you next week. And they were like, I thought I was out.
Just make a new character. This is the opposite.
This is the opposite. This is actually
yeah.
Farewell.
Well, thanks, but
and I wonder, like, what would actually spark this rule being created? You know, like, do you think?
I reckon it would be sparked from something like everyone comes in with the twin brother or twin sister or twin, just like cousin or something like that, with like a fringe or like ginger hair instead of black, and they're called Faramir instead of Boromir.
Like, I wonder if it's like maybe a really tough campaign where there's a lot of combats, and like if you're not like
up to scratch.
Yeah, you're not maximizing your character.
Not building properly.
Like, you know, this is absolutely all assumption, 100%.
It has to be speculation because we have no idea.
Yeah,
but,
I want to know where this rule came from.
Yeah.
Like, why 2?
Yeah, why 2? Why not 1?
Why not
like,
3?
Why not 3? Like, what is it about 2 characters?
I know. I do need to know. Oingo-boingo-brother. If you're listening, I need to know.
Oingo-boingo-brother.
Oingo-boingo-brother.
It's like, the rule is not great, but again, you know, I'll say it again, just for those of you who didn't hear it. Each rule is your own. You can use it at your table, whether we like it or not. That's totally fine. But where does it come from?
Where does it come from?
That's what I don't get about this rule.
Yeah.
It's like, why is this rule born? I think
totally
it has to be born from like, I was Frodo, now I'm Brodo.
Maybe. I have no idea.
Because I will say that is one thing that I am not a fan of.
Or is this an excuse to kick a player out of the table?
Is that what it is?
Like, do you know what I mean?
And then they were like, man, I have to do it for everyone now.
Yeah. Is this the type of thing where it's like they were targeting this person, they were like, I know how to get. I know. Instead of actually just talking to them like a real human person, I can just go this roundabout way of killing them twice and being like, well, you're out. Sorry, that's the rules.
Oh, you died a second time. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you at the time, but 2 deaths means you're gone
sorry.
from the table. I'm really sorry. I'll see you later. Like, and then maybe somebody else's character dies twice and they're like, I think it's 3 times now.
I must know where this is born from. Yeah, I must know.
Don't get it, don't like it.
Yeah, that stinks.
Don't get it, don't like it.
Yeah, that stinks. This next one, this is titled Weird Reaction Rule. Hello, my DM has just implemented a new variant of reactions where you can react to an attack that hits you by attacking them back. I feel like this is unbalanced and it takes away from certain class features and feats. It generally just seems like a bad rule, but I am uncertain. They just say it keeps combat from just being attacking and missing all the time and makes it more full.
Doesn't that make it more that?
So I would like some second opinions. Any and all feedbacks appreciated. This was a poll. 23 people voted it was balanced and 371 people voted it was unbalanced.
Yeah, it's not even that it's not balanced. It's just like the thing is, there's a lot of people who just. This comes from Cobalt Soul Monk.
Right.
Preternatural counter.
Right.
Is if somebody attacks you, you can burn your reaction or like burn some key points.
There's a couple of things. Yeah, there's a couple like Sentinel.
Yeah, but that's not when you get attacked.
Someone else gets attacked.
But true. Yeah. Like it's in the similar vein.
Yeah.
It's in a similar vein. The thing is, the reason it's unbalanced is, first of all, if you don't have Warcaster, and you're like a mage or a wizard or a warlock or anything that gets hit.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I just have to stab them with like my dagger or like bonk them with my staff.
Yeah.
And I've got like a +1 in strength.
Yeah, I guess you could argue that any chance is better than no chance.
But is it though? It's like, do you have to take it?
I don't know. No, I think you where you can react to an attack by attacking them back.
Like because this will bump the damage of like martial classes.
Yeah.
But like people who want to use like counterspell, people who want to use silvery barbs.
Yeah.
It's like if I can use a spell, if I could use like a shocking grasp, then it would probably work both ways. But at the same time, but then enemies can just do it to you.
Yeah.
And
like
it's just giving attacks when they're just not needed.
Yeah.
It's just, the thing is, it's not even. It's just pointless.
Yeah, and I do agree. It does take away from certain classes and features, like class features and feats and stuff as well.
Agreed.
I think.
It does. It definitely does.
I think to me that's the main thing.
Takes away from Sentinel.
You know, like for me, having the option. Of course, I would say this by the way as a melee player, having the reaction to attack something that attacked you back. To me, you know, is just whatever. Like, yeah, sure, I'd play with it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be bothered if it was something at the table, but you know. That's from me personally, and I think it does take away from certain classes more so than it adds to the game. To be honest with you, I think it's fine.
It's fine.
I think it's fine.
I think it's just it's just pointless. It's just not needed.
Yeah,
like the game isn't struggling without it. And this game will definitely continue without it.
And you know what? To be fair, OP says it stops the combat from just being attacking and missing all the time.
But there's more attacks to miss, so I just thought it was nice.
I wonder if it's off the back of maybe there's been a couple of combats where either side hasn't been able to hit.
So
and,
just giving more attacks is better, do you think?
And I guess this is kind of not it's on the same spectrum. Not the same ends of, you know, the new 1D&D thing where you can nick someone. I think that's what it is. Where even if you miss, you still you still do some damage. I maybe it's like it feels like it's in that vein, right?
Yeah, maybe. But then is it not just It's like then it's born from bad rolls or it's born from ACs being too high.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah. Again, I think honestly with so many of these rolls, it's like what are they born from?
Yeah, it's just like I feel like you're trying to you're trying to find a solution, but the solution is wrong for the problem that you have.
It's
like, just put some second objectives in there.
Yeah.
If you're struggling with just combats being like hit, miss, and stuff like that, just put other things in the combat to, you know, have combats more exciting and have like ulterior motives and have different ways to end combats that aren't just reducing things to 0 hit points.
Yeah. I'm very ambivalent towards this rule.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It doesn't bother me either way, honestly.
And it's just like, because then you just burn your reactions straight away. And then it's just like, then people can just move away. Nah, I don't like it.
No, that's fair. That's so fair. That's very fair. To be fair, it sounds like a lot of people didn't unlike it. 371 to 23. To be fair, it wasn't fair if they liked it or not. They just said it was balanced to unbalanced.
Look, like martials did in 1D&D not so much. They're definitely far better. Martials are just a far better like thing overall.
Yeah.
But like it's the age-old thing. Like martials need help. This isn't the way to do it.
Yeah, no,
this is not the way to buff the marshals to make it better.
I agree.
Because it's definitely better for marshals.
Yeah, no, I agree. This next one is the worst I saw in a game I played in was that rolling 1 on attack was always hitting an ally instead of your intended target. After we complained about it, he changed it to rolling 1 for an attack just breaks your weapon. It was really not better.
That's actually far worse.
Hey, I agree. I so agree.
Dungeon crawl, middle of the dungeon. Barbarian, great sword.
I know.
2d12.
I know.
They break it on a natural 1. All they've got is a hand axe, like a 1d6 for the rest of the dungeon. It's just like, you have literally just halved your damage output.
Yeah, and then it's like, what steps do you have to go through to can you repair the weapon, or do you just have to get a new weapon?
Yeah, or is it just like, right, well, I know we're halfway through this dungeon, but let's leave the dungeon, travel back to the town
to go get me a new weapon or get it repaired.
I can sit in the queue at the blacksmiths for a few days to get my sword repaired, so we can go back to the dungeon, so we can carry on. It's just like, why?
Yeah, like even if it's not going through all of that, even if it's just having to verbally say, we leave the dungeon, I go to town, I buy a new weapon, I come back. It's still like, then what's the point?
What's the point?
What's the point?
Because it's like, if you do that, then there's no point.
Yeah.
And then if you do the other thing that I said,
then it's just annoying.
So it's just like, then it's a bad rule.
Yeah. And you know what? Again, hitting an ally on a natural 1 every time, that still stinks. That still actually stinks.
I've never been a big fan of the natural 1 as the Punisher. Like we always say, we've got the advantage-disadvantage tokens, and if the players use their advantage and it's sitting on disadvantage, if they roll a natural 1, you get to move that back over to advantage. Yeah. Because rolling a natural 1 is just sad.
Yeah.
It's just it's demoralizing.
Yeah,
You've waited maybe 20 minutes for your turn to come back around.
Yeah.
And you get to your turn, you're like, oh man, I can't wait to do this really cool thing.
Yeah.
And you sling that spell, or you do this, like, you throw the greatsword to try and chop the rope to shut the door or something like that, and you roll a natural 1, and it's just like, well,
yeah.
I guess I'll wait another 20 minutes.
Yeah, that is the gamble of playing a dice-based game, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, I think...
Like, when it feels bad, why are we making it feel worse?
Even worse. Yeah. And this is crit fumble adjacent. And honestly, I really mean this. Every single time I ever look for these on Reddit, 90% of all of the posts are crit fumble tables.
And the thing is, we've always said it, crit fumbles can be done tastefully.
Yeah. And if you enjoy crit fumbles, then that's so fair. But I would hate that. If every time I rolled a natural 1, I hit an ally, or my weapon broke, I'd be real sad.
Weapon breaking
is like, debilitating.
It doesn't even specify that magic weapons can't break.
Yeah, just your weapon breaks your weapon.
Imagine if you picked up a Holy Avenger, first attack, natty 1, snap the Holy Avenger in half. Yeah, that would be awful. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, OP, it was really not better. Hey, yeah.
So much worse.
I'm with you on that one.
So much worse.
I really am. All right, this next one is, I saw someone in here not yet a month ago who wanted to give their players a turn timer based on your intelligence score that started at 6 seconds for a modifier of +0. Oh, I'm going to sneeze.
Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my goodness gracious me. You're not now. No, it's gone. It's gone.
Oh, God. It is. It's gone. It's gone.
You can tell it slipped away.
Oh, it did. It slipped into that cold, dark night.
Slipped into the ether.
A turn timer based on intelligence modifier.
6 seconds for 0.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had exactly the amount of stubbornness in the comments that you would expect out of someone who didn't immediately back off of the idea when everyone, without exception of him, told him how much of a bad idea it was.
It's a dreadful idea.
Yeah. Man, I don't agree with turn timers anyway.
But what about turn timers?
Based on your intelligence
modifier?
That fucking 2 classes use, basically.
And it doesn't specify that it's a minimum of 6
yeah.
So what happens when we go into the negatives?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like to stack intelligence. Again, like you said, there's only really 2. You could argue rogues like it. Wizards definitely like it.
Yes.
Artificers love it.
Yeah.
Druids could use it to give themselves like nature checks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But really, Eldritch Knights, there's many people who like dabble in it.
Yeah.
But it's not like wisdom.
I was gonna say it's not like wisdom.
Not like wisdom.
To be honest, it's not even like charisma. There's still like 3 classes based on charisma.
And like battlefields change so much. Like from when your turn last time to your turn now, like I said, it could be like 20 minutes.
Yeah. And
you could have been banking on this one thing happening, and I don't know, like the fucking wizard does something crazy, and then the battlefield just completely changes. Someone's now charmed in front of you, and you don't want to hit them.
Yeah, when you're fighting spellcasters, or you even have spellcasters in your party, things can change so drastically from your turn to the next turn.
Yeah. So just bad.
Yeah.
Just like 6 seconds. Like, and I know that we like this whole like it's real, but it's just like it's not real. It's a fucking game. I understand that the whole turn is supposed to take 6 seconds, and that's obviously where we've pulled the 6 seconds.
Yeah.
But like, it's a game. Let's not just like make it massively unfun for everyone.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I can understand the appeal of turn timers.
I can as well.
The appeal.
I can
as
well.
Keep it juicy, keep it moving, keep it fresh.
Especially if there's someone who's known to dilly-dally, not out of ignorance,
just out of parally.
Just out of dilly-dallying. Yeah. I don't think it's ever fair to put a timer on someone who maybe doesn't understand their class or their spells or what. There's someone new. I don't think that's ever fair.
No, I don't think that's fair.
I definitely understand why some people would use a turn timer. I do. But 6 seconds, and then it scales on your wisdom mod.
Intelligence mod.
Oh my gosh, intelligence mod, wisdom mod.
Stinking.
Either way, yeah.
Stinking.
Either way, I would absolutely hate that. We just had a really big fight, and again, some of our turns took fucking forever.
It's not even that it took forever, but it just took because we had more people.
Yeah.
Like we had 6 people at the table.
Yeah.
I was playing an NPC, so there was 7 people.
Yeah.
Then there was bad guys.
Yeah.
And there was multiple times there was multiple bad guys. There wasn't just one bad guy. They took a long time, and I understand that like combats can get weighed down by multiple people. And I like quick combats. So they were a little slower than I would like.
Yeah. But what I mean was, I'm not talking about like how many people there was. It's like, when things got bad, because they did, there was a lot of back and forth and deliberating and having to discuss between all of us what the fuck we were going to do next.
Yeah, like, you got to imagine if someone's down, and, like, we had a really, 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 like, spicy situation where there was, like, people were low, some people were down, and, like, considering healing people with potions, healing people with spells, maybe revivifying in fights and things like that. Like, there's so much to consider, and giving 6 seconds for a stat that not that many people want is just not the way to do it.
It's
just not the way to speed up your combats.
Yep, I agree.
Just, making sure that people are ready, letting them know that they're next and stuff like that is probably a better way to do it. Never been a massive fan of turn timers, but I understand why some people do it, especially if there's a lot of people at the table.
Yeah. I get it.
No.
Yeah, I get it. But I would hate to have a turn timer.
Yeah.
Personally.
And the thing is, it's like, we don't have a turn timer, but if you're taking a little long, I'm like, right, come on, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Like, I will try and, like, not hurry you along, but just,
but you will press the question.
Yeah, I don't just want to just sit. Nobody wants us to just sit there for 5 minutes in silence while you think about what you do.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're really struggling, just talk to each other. It's like,
and
what should I do?
Again, different tables have different policies around, like, how much you're allowed to talk to each other above game.
Yeah.
We talk a lot. Like,
especially when it gets to those tough situations.
Totally. We're going back and forth saying, well, if you can do this, then I can do this. And can you make it over there? Because I can't do that. And then what about that person over there? We have those conversations. And some people would call that metagaming. And we've said this before. Like, I think we do have a level of communication above table that I think a lot of tables wouldn't
enjoy.
Wouldn't enjoy, but for us, we
it
really
works,
enjoy it. And I think that's a perfect example of things that everything will work differently at each table. Some
Incorrect.
people would really hate the level of communication that we have, right?
And I think that's because our combats are harder than quite a lot of people's.
Yeah, I agree.
I think there is always second objectives. Even sometimes there's like triple objectives.
Yes.
Even sometimes, the bad guys are clever. Like, I like to make sure that, like, if my bad guy does something, like, malicious, it's like, I'll even give you the intent behind it.
Yeah.
And, like, if you do too much damage, if you do fuck with the thing that they don't want fucking with in their ritual, it's just like, you are now, like, the target of the next attacks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I will let you know if you've pissed off my bad guy.
Yeah.
And I like doing that.
Yeah.
And, so I think if I tried to implement this at my game, I think this would completely destroy my combats.
I completely
It would
agree.
destroy my combats. It would take out all, like, tacticality out of it, because
and we really
you'll be
enjoy
trying to do it too quickly.
We enjoy the tacticality.
Yeah,
of it
we
as
do.
well.
We love it.
We enjoy when things go bad, having to be like, okay,
how do we get out of this?
What are we gonna do as a group?
Yeah.
Like, there's obviously combats where we can just keep to ourselves and we just do the thing because it's clear what's going on.
Yeah, we just do smashy, bonky, bonky.
Yeah, but there is combats like the last one we had where we really, really, really had to
think.
And all of us had to agree together on what the next steps were,
Yeah.
So yeah, turn-based timers, I don't like them. I get why people do. This next one is, I don't know if this counts, but a DM who I played with for all of 5 minutes ruled that any action that wasn't walking broke your invisibility. I was explaining to the party that I met 2 minutes prior that if they needed me to scout, I could use the spell invisibility. The conversation went like this. Me, I can cast invisibility, so if we need to scout, we should be fine. DM, yeah, but if you do anything, it will break the spell. Me, well, yeah, but I can still open doors. And DM, no, you do anything like that, and you'll decloak in the middle of an orc camp. The absolute eagerness in his voice to shut me down told me that this was a man completely obsessed with controlling and punishing his players. The signs were there when I was signing up, but I thought I would give it a go, only to be railroaded twice in the first and last 5 minutes.
You just rendered that spell completely useless.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you, again, at your table, if you want to use this rule, fine. But you have to tell people before they pick things like
Totally.
Arcane Trickster,
Totally.
Wizard, Sorcerer.
Totally.
People who are going to use this spell a lot.
Yeah.
It's a fucking unbelievably popular spell.
It is.
Because, first of all, going invisible, cool as fuck.
Yeah. The amount of times that we use invisibility.
You guys use it all
the time. All the time.
And it's because it's so useful.
It is. It really is.
And it's like, if you... If this is the way you want to rule it, fine. You got to tell everyone before the game starts.
Oh, totally.
You've got to tell everyone before the game starts.
This is something that has to be a session 0 situation.
And it's like, that's it. It's the eagerness.
Yeah, it's the, you do anything.
You can't.
You do anything like that.
With
you open a door.
With a fucking smile on their face. You're like, hate.
Yeah.
Hate. Deep within the bowels of my body is hate.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, and again, this just suggests to me that the DM doesn't want the players one-upping them in any way, shape,
can't
or form.
outsmart me. I'm the smartest.
Yeah.
I'm the smarty pants, and you're a dum dum.
And it's when you get into the realms of being like, oh, it's an outsmarting game. It's like you should never be looking at your D&D game as one of you was outsmarting the other, right?
Never. You should never look at the game like that. Like, the thing is, it's like, why do we have spells like that? It's to problem solve. Invisibility is a problem-solving spell.
Invisibility is a great scouting spell.
It's a scouting spell.
Yeah,
it's an information gathering spell.
Yeah, totally.
It's a spell. It's like, just because you're invisible doesn't mean you're silent.
Yeah.
And that's what you've got to understand as a DM. It's just like, yes, great, they're invisible. And yeah, they might use it to like work their way around problems. It's like they're spending a 3rd level spell to do that.
Second level spell. Yeah.
Is it a 2nd level spell?
Yeah.
A 2nd level spell to do that.
Yeah.
They are fucking spending a resource to do something.
Yeah.
But it's like, it doesn't mean they are completely silent.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, right, roll a stealth check. It's just like, something could have a high passive perception. Something could have true sight.
Yeah,
they could accidentally leave a door open or something like that.
Well, exactly. Using literally this exact example, like, with OP being like, well, I can still open doors, and DM being like, no, you can't even open a door. But it's like, they can open a door, but what if someone was heading towards the door anyway and saw that the door was open?
And saw the door open, yeah.
You know?
It's like, instead of using any ounce of effort to try and solve this problem,
saying no.
it's just saying no, because it's basically saying, I can't be asked for you to outsmart me.
Yeah,
Like, I can't be asked to find a way for this to be, like, fun and entertaining, so I'm just going to say no.
Yeah.
I'm basically just... It's just fucking pointless. It's just pointless.
Like, I understand a lot of these rules, like like, you can't do anything invisible. It's probably born from a situation where someone took advantage of the invisibility spell. Someone cheesed the invisibility spell. I understand that a lot of these rules probably do come from, like, a bad, like...
experience.
A bad experience with the spell. But putting that blanket of one person being like that over everyone is not fair to anyone.
Yeah, and it's like... A lot of people love invisibility. Like, a lot of people
we love invisibility.
Love invisibility. So it's just like, you're just taking that completely out of the game because of one bad experience you have. Instead of just going like, look, I had one person who really abused it like this one time. Is there any chance that we can just, when we do use it, like, you aren't completely, you know, you will still make sound and stuff like that. So don't think that you're completely, like, traceless. Just communicate with your party instead of just being like, no.
Yeah. And if you're going to do something that is this important for someone who wants to be able to cast invisibility,
before the game.
You have to tell them beforehand.
Tell them before they cast it in game, or literally like play a class that is like they've built it around being invisible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because a lot of builds can coalesce around invisibility and use it as like a main crux of
very much so.
Identity.
Yeah, indeed. And you know what OP says here? The signs were there when I was signing up, but I thought I'd give it a go. Hey, trust your gut. If you're seeing red flags, you probably are seeing them.
You need to trust that gut.
You do need to trust your gut sometimes. Yeah,
you do, yeah.
Definitely.
Not sometimes, most of the time.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, that stinks.
Dreadful. No. When you open the door, it's really a big invisibility. Shut up.
All right, this next one is a bag of holding holds max £30, and any more than that causes it to turn inside out as a mimic, and it attacks the player.
So what you're saying is it's actually just a bag.
It's just a bag. So it's just a bag.
So what you're doing is you're taking the most iconic magic item in the entire D&D sphere, fucking TTRPG sphere, and you're being like, in fact, what it actually is just a bag.
It's just a bag.
That turns into a mimic. Why does it turn into a mimic?
Who knows?
It said something happens and it turns into a mimic.
It causes it to turn inside out and turns into a mimic.
If you put too much in it.
Any more than 30 pounds. So actually, it's worse than a normal bag.
It's actually worse than a normal bag. My normal bag would just break instead of trying to kill me.
For frame of reference, a bag of holding can hold 500 pounds.
A bag of holding?
Yeah, that's how much a bag of holding can hold.
And I'll be honest, who's ever tracked that?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I gave you guys a bag of holding at the beginning of the campaign because I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And do you want to know what? I just don't. And do you know, if you care, totally fine.
Yeah, a lot of people care about inventory management. They do.
I couldn't care less.
Yeah, same.
Personally.
Same. I couldn't care less about
I think there is part
stuff.
of it where it's just like it can become quite a cool like concept to the game.
I agree.
Of like managing your inventory and people like doing different things where you have like a grid.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
it takes up
literally.
this many spaces.
Yeah, like
video
Resident Evil
games.
style,
yeah,
yeah.
Resident Evil styles.
Yeah.
Like you can do cool things with that. For me, not about it.
Yeah, same. I completely agree. Like I'm not about it. And this is a very personal thing. Anything in D&D, things like eating and rations and cleaning and drinking and encumbrance, cleaning your weapons, repairing things like that. I'm not bothered about.
It's like if the players want to do that, cool.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't have. Like this is just our game. If they don't care about it, you shouldn't make them care about it.
But again, on the other side of this, like games that do include this stuff, the people are playing it because they like that.
Because they like that element of the game.
Yeah,
and it's like you should be able to have that if you want it.
Yeah.
But what about taking the bag of holding, making it a really, really bad magic item that can then attack you?
Yeah, because 30 pounds isn't that heavy, right?
I mean, I don't think so.
I don't think
Look,
30 pounds
we're not American.
Yeah. Sorry,
So
I'm not sure how much
pounds and ounces.
Yeah, I don't really know how much 30 pounds
look.
would be because there's 14 pounds in a stone, so it's about 2 stone. So 2 stones.
I think that would be quite a lot for a backpack.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Like just a standard ass backpack. So that means it's basically not much better than a standard backpack.
And then there's a caveat that it's going to attack you.
And then there's a caveat that it's going to attack you if you go over the 30 pounds. And it's just like, I can just imagine the sort of DM that puts this in place is the sort of DM that like knows exactly how much is in there. And there's like 29.5 pounds in there. And then the moment they're about to put something in the bag and the DM's like, they don't be like, just so you know, if you put this in, it will turn into a mimic. They wait until you put it in and then it destroys everything inside of it, turns into a mimic, and then eats one of the party members.
It's mimic time.
It's mimic time.
To which it's like, why are you giving them a bag of holding then?
Why give them a bag of holding? Like, nerf it beyond belief.
Yeah.
And then also make it attack you.
And then put a threat to it.
A threat to it.
Yeah.
You want some fun? No. Not
so,
here.
common things that weigh 30 pounds, a mountain bike, a 50-inch television, 2 pressure cookers.
So yeah, you're talking like it would be.
It's actually a decent amount of weight.
It's a decent amount of weight, but not for a magic.
Oh
item.
no, not for something that holds
it's
500 pounds.
You're talking like 2 or 3, about 3 proper backpacks.
Yeah,
then.
not something literally that's supposed to hold 500 pounds.
500.
Like what's
pounds.
500? What is 500?
Yeah, tell me something that weighs 500 pounds.
Weighs 500 pounds.
A bus.
Let's see, like an elephant?
Dunno.
No, surely not.
Aren't you looking?
You know what? My internet's not working.
How did you find that out?
It worked, and now the whole page is frozen. This is a really old iPad, I will say. This iPad is actually ancient beyond all belief. What weighs 500 pounds? Let's see if this web page works.
Oh my god.
No, it's not.
Well, we got to think. It's going to be way more than 10 times a mountain bike. That's quite a lot.
That's a lot. That is a
weight.
lot. Okay, a grand piano. There you go.
You can put an entire grand piano in a bag of holding.
Yeah, a grand piano.
Piano.
A small motorbike or a large grizzly bear.
A grizzly bear. You can put a large grizzly bear in a bag of holding and it'll still be fine.
Yeah.
But what about if it was just a mountain bike? And then if you went over the mountain bike, turns into a mimic.
Yeah. That
dreadful.
That does stink.
But the thing is, maybe again, this is born from
probably someone abusing it, right?
Somebody abused the bag of holding.
Totally.
And it's like, look, we do really stretch the limits of bags of holding extensively. a lot of groups do, but it's just like that's the fun of having the bag of holding. It's like you can take things and they'll preserve them and stuff like that.
Turns out Matthew has a thing for wanting to stuff children in the bag of holding. It would turn out, and it would turn out it's not just our campaign
not
thing.
In a strange way.
It's a multi-campaign thing. Yeah, no, not in a weird way.
Not in a weird way. Basically,
Yeah,
it's his escape plan.
Yeah, it was a consideration at one point.
It's a consideration.
It was a consideration.
I just outed my family.
And again, we said it when Wabs and Courtney were here. Courtney was like, "That's so weird that this is the second campaign this week you've suggested putting children in a bag of holding."
Get wrecked, Matthew.
Hey, Matthew. Love you dearly.
Get wrecked.
Oh, all right. This is the penultimate. Wow,
Oh my
we
God.
blasted through these.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Oh my goodness gracious me. This is my pet raven should have been in every fight. Here is how it was. I was playing a hunter ranger. Asked the DM if I could have a pet raven for roleplay because my character's name was Bran and it means raven. She said, okay. I only used him to roleplay and used him as eyes in the sky when traveling and tracking with the DM's approval. If she said no, I wouldn't. After a while, she decided that my raven needs to roll initiative and fight every time. I argued that it's a flying pet and it has no fighting capabilities. He would just fly up and fly away. She said no. I had to spend my bonus action to control a basic ass raven as a hunter ranger. I loved my pet, so I tried to protect him for a few encounters. But then an arrow shot and killed him since he basically had 1 HP. I still don't get why all of this happened.
Because you probably used it too much in their opinion.
Yeah.
And they were like, man, I need to get rid of this pet.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, instead of just communicating with
Which
you
they should have done.
and saying like, look, I understand that it was a roleplay thing, but like you're maybe using it a little too much outside of combat. It's gaining too much value for something that we've just done and maybe I didn't realize that at the time and I'm sorry. Can we maybe put some restrictions on it so it can only be used like once per day to scout or something like that?
Totally.
It's just
totally.
like, just like communicating with something that it's like, I've given you. I don't want to take it away now because it's like a big part of your character. So let's just try and find some.
How about I kill it?
So what about I just shoot it?
How about I shoot an arrow right through it? Yeah. How about, oh my gosh,
how about
I impale it.
How about one day I just ask you to roll initiative?
Yeah, and then I kill it.
Tell you that it can't do any of the things.
Yeah.
Have to use your action economy as a ranger.
Your bonus
by the
action.
way, Hunter's Mark, big thing.
Yeah.
You're going to be one less rounding Hunter's Mark, probably.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be putting your Raven in danger.
Yeah.
And when you put your Raven in danger,
I'm going to kill it.
She shoots it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that really, really stinks. And pets are something that is so special to people. And this is coming from someone, by the way, who has a pet in game. Balthazar is Blythe's pet, and he is literally exactly this.
Yeah.
He does nothing. He doesn't even scout.
He doesn't know.
I don't use him for anything other than just role play.
Party mascot.
Yeah, he's just a party
and
mascot.
he's great, and we love him. And
he's just a pal.
Everyone in the party just interacts with him and stuff like that. And
I understand. To be honest, even if I wanted to use him for things like scouting, I think at that point I would understand. I would have to then start getting him involved in combats, right?
Not really,
because there's been times
unless in the fight, you wanted to use him.
Well,
the thing is, it's like you can use things to scout, like find familiars and stuff like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's not a familiar though, is he?
He's not. But the thing is, because you're not using him even if you like wanted to scout with him and stuff like that, like that's fine. I'm still not going to kill him in combat.
Noted.
I'm not going to kill him in combat because he's not bringing any value in combat.
The thing is, I think because he doesn't have a stat block or anything like that either.
Because you've never wanted it.
Yeah, indeed.
Like, if you were to try and use him in combat for stuff, then he'd be fair game.
Yeah.
But because you don't, even if you wanted to use him a little bit outside of combat, like loosely, I still wouldn't try and kill him in combat.
Noted. Well then. You know what? I just never have. Never have because, and you know what? I think for me, I'm scared to use him as a scout in case he gets noticed and then he gets hurt. You know, like that's the fear for me.
Yeah, but we can have mechanics.
For
stuff like that. It's like if that's something that you want to do, we can have proper mechanics.
Well, there was a point where I wanted. I had Balthazar, and I was going to multi-class into Echo Knight, and I was going to have Balthazar as my Echo, but that's just not how it ended up going.
That's just
right?
not how,
so Balthazar's he's just a pal.
He's just a guy. He's just a bit of roleplay.
Man, if one day you turned around and you were like, yes, suddenly you have to roll, and you have to use your bonus action, which my bonus action, by the way, is fucking huge for me.
Yeah.
Like, that would be devastating.
Yeah. Just pointless.
Yeah, like if there's something like this, if someone is using their pet too much,
the thing is, because it's not a fine familiar, it's like your raven's just dead.
Yeah,
it's not. You can't just bring them back.
Yeah,
it was just a pet raven.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Yeah,
that's so sad. And
just
like,
stupid.
The thing is, OP even says like, I would use him as eyes in the sky with her approval. If she said no, I just wouldn't. So to me, this doesn't read that OP was being any particular way
No,
about
it
it.
doesn't sound like it.
I think the DM maybe had outside influence, being like, "Oh, this Raven."
Yeah,
you
that
know?
Raven's just so unfair that they have that Raven.
Yeah, the Raven's too strong, or something like that. Like maybe outside influence. Oh yeah, genuinely just being like, "I'm fucking sick of this Raven."
I'm sick of this Raven.
Like,
but instead of communicating
Yeah.
that you're upset about the Raven, and you maybe didn't realize that it was going to be as strong as it was,
yeah,
you just kill it instead.
yeah, I know, which is so
What do we
unfair.
reckon?
Pets mean so much to
It's
people
so
in
much.
games, so much to
And it's
people.
like having a Raven because your character's name's Bran and stuff like that. It's just
Yeah.
like it's tied to your character. If you don't like it, talk about
Yeah,
it. Don't just kill it.
I feel like that could be said for 99% of
Yeah,
these
because
things,
people are
though,
just
right?
So bad at communicating, and then
I
it just
know.
makes fucking games fall apart.
I know. And communicating's hard, by the way. Communicating is a skill you have to work on. No one is born innately being able to communicate their emotions clearly,
No.
right? Like, communicating's hard, and depending on kind of what your friendship groups were like, how much you were socialized when you were younger, sometimes I think conversations are taken as confrontation when that's absolutely
Conversations
not
aren't confrontations.
God, absolutely not. And you always feel so much better after having an honest conversation.
And
I
it's
believe.
just like, you can just be like, I think it's just getting a bit strong.
Yeah,
It doesn't even
like,
have to be like a
you-
conversation
yeah,
about emotions. It's just like we can just literally talk about in-game mechanics.
You can literally be like, "Hey, your Raven's annoying me.
It's
Let's fucking do something
hey,
about it."
I thought I was giving it to roleplay and it's
Yeah.
become more mechanical.
Yeah,
It's like,
Raven's too much for me.
it doesn't even have to be like, oh, you're pissing me off
Yeah,
with the Raven.
yeah. Like,
We can literally just
hey,
talk
Raven's
about
too much.
the mechanics of the game.
Yeah, totally. I
Instead,
agree.
oh, how about we just kill it instead?
Well, I'm sorry, OP. I'm sorry that
I'm very sorry,
I'm
OP.
sorry
That's
that
annoying.
she killed your Raven. Yeah, that's
fucking annoying.
That's unfair and that's mean.
That pisses me
Yeah,
off.
it pisses me
I'm
off. as
pissed
well.
off.
Yeah, go on. Oh no. All right, this is the last one. This is it before we hear my voice. Oh my gosh.
Are you okay?
So this next one is badass rolls. You roll with disadvantage, but if you hit, it's an auto crit. I just think it's dumb and unbalanced.
Okay.
What have I said? I think that's kind of fun.
I think it's kind of fun.
That's
I think,
kind of fun.
I think it's kind of fun. I think it's kind of fun. I think it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I think that's kind of fun.
Like overcoming the odds and hitting and
Yeah.
it just being a crit
Yeah.
because it was just like there's no right you should have hit there.
Yeah. I
Like,
agree.
and I've done this before and it's always Abby. It's happened twice. I've
It
given
is.
out disadvantage
Oh my
for
God.
like in-game mechanical
Yeah.
reasons.
Oh my god.
And then she's rolled double natural 20s.
And it's happened
It's happened
multiple
twice.
times for her. Yeah.
It's happened twice.
It happened.
Happened at the beginning of this campaign, happened end of last campaign.
And it happened in a moment where it really needed to happen
Yeah.
for her as well.
last
like
last campaign, it was last fight.
It was against being charmed,
It
wasn't
was
it?
against Loki.
Yeah. Good God. I think she did it. I think she did it as well against what was his name?
Don't know.
Not Caladan. Dude, Idiger.
Odiger.
Odiger.
Nah, she didn't.
Did she not?
It was the other time was at the beginning of this
I
campaign.
see. Interesting. So, hey, I think that's kind of fun.
I don't dislike it.
Yeah.
I don't. But the thing is, I can guarantee this person's upset because I think somebody's had disadvantage against them,
Yeah.
and then the rule has worked in the enemy's favor, and they've been like,
And hey, listen,
hey, and that's fair.
I have player brain rot. Okay.
Yeah.
I do this good. Enemy do this
Bad. Ooh.
bad.
Ooh.
That's my tiny little player monkey brain
That's
seeing
a-
this and going ooh.
But then when the enemy does it,
Happens to me. Boo.
I hate that rule.
Yeah, that happens to me. I'm writing this Reddit post.
Like I don't hit it.
I think maybe an auto crit is too far.
Yeah, maybe you get an extra damage dice or
Yeah,
something.
or maybe like if
Maybe
like,
you get brutal critical. Maybe you get an extra damage dice.
yeah, totally.
A crit
Yeah, I think
seems
a crit's
a
maybe
little,
too much.
maybe excessive.
Maybe too much. You know what?
Or
I
maybe
just
you
think
get an
actually,
inspiration or something.
yeah, like genuinely the idea of rolling with disadvantage and hitting, I think that's cool, and I think something. Yeah, I don't think a crit.
Maybe not a
But-
crit, but like an inspiration, heroic inspiration, damage
Yeah,
dice,
yeah.
extra something like
Extra
that.
D4 to the rolls.
Hey, but if you want to use you want to beat an auto crit, go for it.
yeah,
That's your game. I don't hit it. Overcoming the odds.
Hey, what do you think? What do you think about this rule? I'd like to know. I bet DMs are like, this is terrible. I bet players are like, oh.
Yeah, and then until the moment it happens. And then the DM's like, well.
Yeah,
and then the player's like,
that's always how it goes.
I hate the rule.
Yeah, enemy has ability. Boo.
Yeah, boo.
We unleash all abilities, everything. Yay.
Like I put a lot of height dynamic in my games. Like a lot of height dynamic. I like to have like different levels and stuff like that. So the battlefield feels more dynamic. Like you want to get the high ground. You don't want to be getting shot down upon and stuff like that. Finding ways to like pull enemies off shelves.
Yeah.
And like my players get the high ground all the time.
And we
like,
get plus D4 to rolls.
When you roll for an attack, you get to basically give yourself guidance on the attack roll.
Yeah.
To hit.
Yeah.
And that's like the advantage of being high.
Yeah.
If you're shooting from like low ground to up, you get a negative D4. It's just the way that it is. My players get the high ground all the time. They love getting the high ground. As soon as I get the high ground, they're like, this rule is fucking trash.
What the hell?
It's trash.
That's so unfair. Or when we have low ground and you're like minus D4, we're like, oh. Of course, it's all in good jest.
Oh yeah, it's all fun. And man, my bad guys do smart things against you.
And we're like, what?
You're like, what?
What the hell, Jack?
Something that they do all the time. They're like,
what on earth?
This is bullshit.
Hey, that's how the cookie crumbles.
That's just how it is.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
And I know that as a dungeon master. And I understand it.
So that's it.
Yeah.
That's all there is.
Yes.
Thank you very, very, very much for letting us have that time off. It was very much needed. So happy to be back.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to all of our patrons for all your support. We really, really, really appreciate it. If you would like to join the Patreon, the link is below.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all the good stuff. Thank you so much for showing all of the videos so much love. Come join us on Twitch Friday, Sunday, and every other Tuesday.
Yes.
We live stream there. We talk a lot of shit, but we also talk about a lot of TTRPG stuff. So come and join us. It's a great fun time. If you like the yapping, that's what we do.
Yep.
Our Etsy store is down below, Hellbound Dice. Code Podblast will get you 10% off. Go and check out some merch. If you're a Patreon, don't forget to use the code.
Oh, yes.
It's in the Discord to get yourself 10% off this as well.
Yes, indeed. I forgot about that, totally.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I
love you.
I love you.
Bully does not love you.
No.
Right now.
Oh,
he
gosh.
He is downstairs screaming.
Oh, he is scream crying downstairs.
But we've been the Eldritch Podblast. And we're going to see you on Thursday.
Bye. And another huge thank you to our patrons for all of your support. A big shout out to our fellow entities.
Hoobs.
Ariel.
Tula.
Runarian.
Arkham Labs Cosplay.
Maddie.
Pepsi Woman.
Luna.
Teddy Saurus.
Caspian.
Ryan the Giant 111.
J-Spot.
Ultrafail.
Dallin M.
Sleepy.
Joe Dragonlord 2.
Alistar.
Lawkeeper Society.
Ricky B.
Danny Phantom.
Catherine.
Faustskin.
Azuriel.
Panda Queen Plays.
And Xylo Boy.
Thank you again for all your support.
And if you too would like to become a patron of the Eldritch Podblast, check the link below.